Chemical resistance failures in automotive coatings are not random staining events. They are controlled interactions between aggressive chemicals and a polymer network that is either insufficiently cross-linked, improperly cured, or chemically unbalanced. These failures often appear as softening, swelling, discoloration, gloss loss, or permanent etching, and they reveal weaknesses that may not be visible under normal weathering conditions. Fuel resistance is one of the most critical benchmarks because fuels are complex chemical mixtures, not single solvents. Modern fuels contain aromatics, alcohols, oxygenates, and additives that aggressively interact with clear coat and base coat chemistries. When fuel contacts a coating, especially at warm surface temperatures, it attempts to diffuse into the polymer network. If crosslink density is low or polarity is mismatched, fuel components penetrate, swell the film, and extract low molecular weight species. Early-stage fuel attack appears as temporary softening or loss of gloss. If exposure is short, the film may recover. Prolonged or repeated exposure leads to permanent damage such as wrinkling, staining, or loss of adhesion between layers. Clear coats are designed to resist brief fuel contact, not long-term pooling. Failures around fuel filler doors almost always point to curing or formulation imbalance rather than customer misuse. Detergents and car wash chemicals represent a different attack mechanism. Alkaline cleaners are particularly aggressive because they hydrolyze susceptible bonds within the clear coat network. High pH solutions increase water uptake, accelerate oxidation, and leach additives from the surface. Repeated exposure does cumulative damage, even if each wash appears harmless. Additives play a double-edged role. Surface-active additives improve flow and appearance, but can increase chemical permeability if overused. Plasticizers and flexibilizers improve impact resistance, but may reduce solvent resistance if not chemically bound. OEM formulations rely on reactive additives that become part of the polymer network rather than free species that can be extracted. Curing quality is one of the strongest predictors of chemical resistance. Undercured films contain unreacted functional groups and residual solvents that act as diffusion pathways. Overcured films may resist chemicals initially, but develop microcracks that later allow penetration. OEM bake profiles are validated specifically for chemical resistance, not just hardness or gloss. Road contaminants introduce mixed attack modes. Brake fluid is hygroscopic and penetrates deeply, often causing blistering and staining. Road tar contains solvents that soften clear coat surfaces. Industrial fallout deposits acidic or metallic particles that react in the presence of moisture. Each contaminant stresses the coating differently, revealing weaknesses in different layers. Temperature amplifies all chemical attacks. A fuel spill on a hot panel causes far more damage than the same spill on a cool surface. Diffusion rates increase exponentially with temperature, which is why chemical resistance tests are often conducted at elevated temperatures to accelerate failure mechanisms. Testing methods include fuel soak tests, detergent resistance cycles, and spot tests using standardized chemicals. OEMs correlate these tests with field exposure patterns. Failures that occur only in specific regions often point to local chemical usage rather than global formulation issues. From a troubleshooting perspective, chemical resistance complaints require careful identification of the attacking agent. Visual appearance alone is misleading. Engineers use solvent rubs, FTIR surface analysis, and controlled re-exposure tests to confirm failure mechanisms. Adjusting additives without understanding the attack chemistry often worsens the problem. Chemical resistance is not about making coatings impermeable. It is about slowing diffusion enough that brief, real-world exposures do not cause permanent damage. When coatings are properly formulated and cured, chemicals may leave marks, but they should not destroy the protective network. If you have questions about fuel staining, detergent damage, or unexplained softening of coatings, leave them in the comments. We'll continue breaking down durability and chemical failure mechanisms using OEM-level logic in upcoming episodes.